Since the dawn of humanity, we have always been debating the existence of other life forms. We often debate the existence of God, the afterlife, and even extraterrestrial life. Do they exist? Will we ever truly know the answers? Well, I don't know the answers to any of those in real life, but we are going to cover the existence of aliens in Buddy. So hello and welcome to today's episode of Buddy Mysteries, and yes, this is another far-fetched, light-hearted video, so please don't take it too literal, and let's begin. Fresh off the heels of the myth-infested GTA San Andreas, myth hunters took to the world Bullworth to discover what secrets Rockstar had hidden for us this time, and one of the biggest mysteries in GTA San Andreas, outside of Bigfoot that is, was UFOs and aliens. And there were a lot more hints to aliens existing in the world of Bullworth than there were in San Andreas. So let's go through the evidence and some theories about these aliens, starting off with the Hobo behind the school bus. The most definitive and infamous proof of alien life existing in the Buddy universe comes from the Hobo behind the school bus. Now we first meet him in A Little Help, where he tasks us with getting him radio transistors in exchange for fighting moves. But after collecting all 6 radio transistors and giving them back to him, this happens.
Take this!
Now this was actually an incredibly massive cutscene because it's the first time Rockstar have ever shown something of this calibre in their games before. Also, this mysterious beam of light will remain here until the player goes indoors. It's impossible to see where this beam of light goes to as well, as the actual source is blocked off entirely by clouds. Now, ever since Buddy came out, fans have been wondering what kind of secret this beam of light actually holds, and if it's possible to interact with this light somehow and get some kind of secret, which is actually impossible to do because Hobo's training area is locked off at all times. But despite this, there were some very far-fetched theories being thrown around, and these are always my favourite part of myths and mysteries because of how far-fetched they are. Anyway, these rumours consisted of Jimmy himself being abducted, where Jimmy would get lifted high up in the air, the screen would go black, and Jimmy would wake up on one of the pillars in the sea area in Old Bullworth Vale. You'd also unlock some alien costume for this. Other rumours stated that there was a secret story involving aliens would be unlocked, and of course aliens invading Bullworth, or Jimmy must fight a mutated version of the Hobo on a spaceship, and some more wacky ideas that are probably more suited for Saints Row 4. Now sadly, none of these are true, unsurprisingly, as if you use mods or a BMX glitch to get into the Hobo's area, you'll see that it doesn't really do anything, it's just a light source sadly. And by using mods, if we climb up, the light source does not even reveal a UFO, and unlike Super Mario 64, Jimmy doesn't get a flying cap either. But even though that this part was fake, this does raise a lot of questions. What does the Hobo know about the aliens? How did he contact them? What happened to him afterwards? Because of all this, the Hobo is definitely a very interesting character. He never did tell Jimmy what he wanted them for. People just assumed he was some crazy old guy who believed in aliens, and was proven right on his abduction, which could explain why he was laughing while he's being abducted, or if you want to go really deep into the Buddy lore perhaps, maybe the Hobo actually discovered something in the Korean War, which he shouldn't have. Maybe the DPRK, China, the USSR, or the USA harboured extraterrestrial technology, and the Hobo just happened to come across this during his service, and after the war, studied the technology for himself. Yeah, I think that's a bit too far-fetched even for this series, but I guess it's just down to our imaginations what this Hobo knew. Now, our second bit of evidence actually comes from Happy Vault's Asylum. Now, Happy Vault's Asylum itself is the birthplace of many Buddy myths, including the ever so popular werewolf. If we head to the back of the asylum, there are various x-rays on the wall, and while pretty much all of you may have seen these before, I'll keep it brief. The first one of a hunched over being is widely accepted to be a werewolf of sorts, while this one over here is widely accepted to be an alien. First of all, the neck shape is not human at all, and while it could be somebody with a body defect, it's definitely not human because of the shape of the skull. It's an abnormal shape, and the mouth being a bit too far away from the brain, if that makes any sense. Because of this, people started coming up with theories that Happy Vault's Asylum was harbouring an alien somewhere, but possibly the alien escaped, and some even theorised that maybe the alien was kept in the morgue, as we do have this strangely open door in the area which is never addressed. Although granted, it's a morgue, so it could just be somebody who was recently passed away and, yeah, you know, taken away for the funeral or something like that. Now, some theories were thrown around, but were quickly debunked, and these were that people claimed there was a crashed UFO on the roof of the asylum, which is how the Orgleys acquired an alien. But that was false, as nobody was ever intended to get on the roof of the asylum. So that was quickly thrown out and was debunked fully when people used mods to check the roof for themselves and discovered that, unsurprisingly, the roof was incomplete and there was no UFOs. And much like the werewolf, apparently if you were in the asylum at the right time, you could fight an alien yourself, and you would get an alien head as a reward, which did actually have a bit of credibility to it, given the fact that Jimmy could fight a pirate and get a pirate hat. However, much like the werewolf myth, rumours on where to find and fight this alien were spread wild, from the asylum to Ernest's observatory, and pretty much anywhere in between. The alien was said to be grey, had high health, and had a very unique fighting style that no one else in Bully has. Some other rumours said you could find the alien locked in one of the cells, but he's unfightable as the cells never open at all in free mode. One of the more far-fetched theories I read up was that Theo himself was an alien, and he cloned himself, which explains why only he is found at the asylum, and it also explains how he can successfully drug anybody without actually injecting them, which explains a weird green screen we see just before fainting. Now this one was not widely accepted at all, as none of Theo's quotes even so much as hint at him being, well, an alien, and his personality was normal, just a bit cruel. He does a lot of steroids and enjoys a lot of poor internet videos, should I say. Yeah, let's just hope that one gets passed. But there was one more bit of unusual evidence that we found, and that was this mysterious flying object in the sky. Because there is something weird with the skies of Bullworth. Now, much like GTA San Andreas and pretty much every other Rockstar game, except Red Dead Redemption I think, Myth Hunters noticed something strange in the skies. Now, while it is just mostly planes flying over the town, occasionally this weird triangle can be seen flying, and this is definitely not a plane. And while many people just brush this off as a simple oversight on the planes perhaps, some of us thought that maybe Rockstar are just referencing the GTA UFOs. As in San Andreas, sometimes you might see something fly past CJ in the sky that is definitely not a plane either. Some of the myth hunters were quick to link this to the real life phenomenon of the Black Triangle UFO. In the United States, Belgium and the UK, there have been sightings of the strange Black Triangle UFO seen in the skies. It's often described as silent and it's slowly cruising over cities and highways. In the United States, this triangular UFO has been spotted in southern Illinois, Kansas, Wisconsin, and the most recent sighting was in Maryland. Now, if we go back to Buddy, because there is absolutely no way for Jimmy to get off the ground, we can never truly know what the hell this thing is supposed to be. Some myth hunters hold on to the belief that this is a spaceship. I personally think it's a bit far-fetched to link this triangle to an actual real-life phenomenon, especially as this phenomenon is not really that huge anyway. But then again, it does make some really interesting debates, so we'll just leave that at possibly. Although personally, I do think it's just a glitch. But what if I told you there is a way you can see aliens in Bully without mods and without any nonsense Easter egg steps? Because, shockingly, you can. Sort of. Because in Bully Scholarship Edition only, not Anniversary Edition, not the PlayStation 2 version, in the multiplayer biology class, you have a very small chance of dissecting an alien, complete with the respective body parts named, well, something you'd expect to see in like sci-fi genre, and pretty much, yeah. So we do actually see aliens in Bully. However, as it only appears in the multiplayer game mode, some argue it's not really canonical because it's just tucked away in a small mode outside the game itself and only appears in two versions of the game, these being the Xbox 360 version and the Nintendo Wii version. Others say it is canonical because it still takes place in the Bully universe in a class Jimmy does attend, and unlike other multiplayers like say GTA 4 Online or Red Dead Redemption 1 Online, it's not something that takes place in an alternate universe, because Jimmy still attends these classes and maybe Gary does too. Personally, I do think this confirms that aliens exist in Bully, because like I said, the multiplayer isn't taking place in an alternate universe, you know. Now going back to the far-fetched theories, I actually found one which could hint at Bully and GTA 5 being linked, as in GTA 5 aliens can be found there too, and there are multiple ways to meet aliens in GTA 5. From being frozen in North Yankton, to stealing eggs in GTA 9, I'm not counting Michael's abduction as that might have just been a heavy drug trip, or maybe not, as it really is heavily implied to have actually happened. I think it's safe to say that aliens do exist in the world of Bully, because there's a lot of overwhelming evidence to support their existence. Also, I believe Bully was the first game that kicked off Rockstar's love for alien Easter eggs, as UFOs, spaceships and aliens did first appear here, and have been very prominent in Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. But I will say this, I do not think the black triangle in the sky is a spaceship. To me it's probably just a texture glitch or something like that. So that's it for today's episode of Bully Mysteries. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more bully based content than that. If you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming a member of my channel or support me on Patreon. So that's it for today's video, thank you for watching and have a great day.